Hey, so I was thinking this morning about fun and social media. A lot of maybe deep things, I don't know. I think it's interesting, our culture has a lot of value put on opinions, especially critical opinions, because it's a way to define yourself as above something, is to show why it's below you, right? So there's so much emphasis on this critical opinions, and as we grow up, we learn that the less you're neutral and the more you do things that are put yourself in front of people, or put your creativity or your joy in front of people, that's more opportunity for other people to use their powers of critical superiority to bash you down. And I think most people, in fact all people probably, start defining where they're going to draw the lines of suppressing their joy, like what they're willing to fight for and what they're going to let die. And what's really interesting to watch is we're in this world now where social media is becoming more and more a tool for fun. And you may disagree with that because of likes and comments and all the critical aspects, or sometimes positive aspects. But I feel like you look at something like TikTok, right? Or actually, let's first YouTube, right? It's just, hey, post a video that you enjoy what this video is. Post whatever you want, right? There's no barrier really to entry, except for things that are anti-commercial in certain ways, like swearing. You don't really want to swear in the first 30 seconds. Don't really want to bully people, things like that. But those are all mostly negative things. Not to say I don't understand that some people feel negativity is important when they're doing political views or whatever, like that kind of stuff. But anyway, YouTube's a place. And before YouTube, there's a huge barrier to entry on getting videos to people. You would have to get onto TV most likely, and the chances of that are pretty slim unless your family's already in that world, and you're in Hollywood and everything like that, or New York. So you had this sudden openness of video, and average people making video is usually fun video, right? You're gonna film your friends, you're gonna film whatever. Obviously, as the monetization piece has come in, people are becoming more regimented in that and killing their own joy oftentimes. But then you also have things, so then you have the mainstream or the bigger networks, and even people that are feel connected to that in some way are very critical of YouTube, because they feel it's kids playing around. And how awful is that, right? And for me, I can't speak for everyone making films, but I think the reason you get into films is because you find some joy in it. You're still a kid playing around. You just are adding craft to that, hopefully, and business to that. Unfortunately, the business or craft, mostly the business is actually, the craft is still pretty fun, I think, for most people, but depending on how you implement it. But I'm just walking back and forth down the street. I'm waiting for a saw, actually. What am I talking? Oh yeah. So, you know, people are looking for ways to be critical. That's a way to be critical, is that their kids playing around. Now you have something where, like TikTok showing up, and I hear people that are into YouTube or have accepted YouTube now looking at TikTok and being like, oh, it's just a bunch of dumb kids playing around, and most of it's creepy and all this stuff, which is more of that critical, you know, way of building yourself up. I was on set, and a woman who, I'm not sure what her role was explaining to me how pathetic TikTok is, and these kids, that's all they want to do now, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, you know, it's gamification, and I had fun making videos when I was in elementary school, and there was no playing back and forth, and there's definitely negative sides to that, obviously, especially with dealing with children being publicly seen. But you also have, you're engaging outward in your fun in the same way a multiplayer game, not the same way, but similar to a multiplayer game would be engaging outward. And except for it's more creative. I mean, a video game is generally not a very creative experience. Maybe tactical if you're taking that part seriously, but not creative. With some exceptions, obviously. So anyway, that's all interesting to me. Where am I going with this? Yeah, I guess it's interesting. You know, people want to, and also the dance aspect, obviously, singing, dancing, all that kind of stuff. That's always been a thing where obviously people will be positive and supportive of that a lot of times, but it's also a place where you're really leaving yourself open to those people trying to step on someone, because it's easy, especially now. Like there's amazing dancers out there and amazing singers out there just popping up on YouTube. So very little things can be picked out and torn down. Or you could be amazing at either one of those, and someone will come up with some other reason that they're gonna, you know, pick on you, basically. So anyway, I just think all this is fascinating to watch, this kind of clash right now of the critical society that's kind of oppressed the inner child in people versus this world of social media that is actually getting more and more gamified, more and more playful, more and more creative. There's a funny moment. I was talking to, who was I talking to? I was talking to someone, and they were talking about how, I think it was my girlfriend, talking about how she saw a picture of a bike, not a picture of a bike, a actual bike sitting on up against a tree, right? And she was like, oh, that's a beautiful photo. And immediately though, she was like, okay, but I've seen that photo a million times on Instagram. And one, I think she should just take it. It doesn't matter. Not everyone else has seen that photo, and there's a reason that photo's become popular. Take the picture. Why not? I think the comparison sucks away the fun, right? Because photography is fun, and having a reason to post photography, I think, can be fun if you're willing to let go of the critical part, or the other people being critical. But the other cool thing that I love about it is you have seen all that stuff. There's so many people uploading so much stuff and creating so much stuff that you can get past what is the obvious much quicker. One of my favorite little videos I watched on YouTube, not favorite videos, but just a favorite line from the video, was there's a photographer that was saying, if you see everyone taking a picture, turn around and see what the picture is the other way. And I think there's something amazing about that. The idea that now there is so much of this creative content out there that you have to get more creative past the obvious beautiful or obvious exciting or obvious fun and create new fun. And it really sets this rising bar in a more aggressive way than in the past. And it depends on the platform, because the rising bar can be different things. It's not always just like, what's the most artistic, beautiful photo? It can also be what connects with people in the most visceral way. So like something like ASMR is not something that people would have even predicted per se becoming a popular medium. I'm probably ASMRing right now. I noticed on the first video my nose was projecting onto the microphone. So you're welcome for all the same ASMR if it's happening again. But now you find this new stimulus of people that are calmed or feel positively when they are listening to that stuff, and then you slowly evolve that and make it something better and more interesting, and people become creatives in that area, all kinds of amazing stuff. So I think that's all I'm gonna rant about that. I might come up with more, but part of this whole vlog thing is I'm just saying stuff and trying stuff and filming stuff and whatever. I think tomorrow or later today, and then I'll post it tomorrow, I'll probably talk about AI, because I got some stuff that I'm really excited to talk about. As my girlfriend would warn you, about AI, that it's not my AI, it's just, I am constantly reading and learning about AI because it's a fascinating thing to me, especially in the creative space. So it'll be fun to talk about. And I'll see you tomorrow.